Microphone 1.
Thank you, Chairman. We have a question from Rita Mazalevskis.
Thank you. Good morning, Board. It's nice to be here face-to-face again. I'm also here as a founding member of Bank Warriors, who work with and assist financial victims. So I have a question relating to the Board. Under your corporate governance statement, with the performance evaluation, it says that this year the Board is utilising the services of an independent external facilitator to assist with the evaluation of the Board, the committees and the directors. This will include interviewing each of the directors and key members of senior management, with results to be discussed by the Board and subsequent actions to be agreed. Then, in the past, it states that for the evaluation of non-executive directors, the chairman normally has a one-on-one meeting with the non-executive director regarding their performance, and this information will be fed back to the chairman, who will discuss the feedback with each director, like a usual performance with staff. It also says that to do with the chairman of the Board, ANZ's longest-serving non-executive director usually facilitates the evaluation of the performance of the chairman. This involves seeking input from each director, and then this is also fed back to the chairman. So, in regards to engaging an external facilitator, given that boards only meet a handful of times a year for board meetings, not frequently, and that the relationship is very critical, why is ANZ engaging an external facilitator to do this part of the process for performance, where that facilitator doesn't know the intricate details of the person's experience and how they're performing? And is this a cost the shareholders are bearing, which hasn't been reflected in any of the directors' salaries?
Thank you, Rita. It's a pleasure to put a face to the name, because I think you made a number of phone questions over the last 2 AGMs. So great to see you in person, and thanks again for your activism. Let me start by saying this is considered to be best practice in corporate governance. It's not only ANZ, but most ASX top 100 boards will bring in an independent evaluation on a fairly regular basis, usually every 2 or 3 years. And the reason it's an external is independence, because we want to make sure that people are comfortable speaking the truth to power. And so the chairman, the chairperson, whoever they are, has a degree of authority and power. So I think it's important that there's somebody independent who's able to run the evaluation. There are a small number of highly qualified professional firms who provide this service, and it's one of them that we have engaged. I think it's actually an important service to shareholders, because what you will want to make sure of is that a board like us is made up of appropriately qualified people who are diligent and doing their jobs, and that we're running our governance and committees in an appropriate way. I should add, this year we had 18 board meetings, so I think this has actually been a very hard-working board, and I thank my colleagues for the time that they've put aside. So overall, it's not a hugely material cost in the context of the bank, but I actually think it's an important exercise, and I participate in it in other boards that I've been on over the years.
Can I just clarify something? I realise that there's an external facilitator that comes in every 3 years to review the board as a whole. Are you saying that the individual reviews will be every 3 years, not yearly?
The individual reviews are within that. So the external review we're talking about, that's being done as both individual review of directors and the board's performance and the committee performance overall. So that's part of that 2 to 3 years. That's part of the external review. We do evaluate ourselves and our committees every year, and that's run as an internal process. And certainly as chair, I'm not waiting for the feedback results. I'm actually constantly talking to directors and giving feedback. I attend every committee meeting, or at least I aim to. Obviously, I attend and chair every board meeting. So as a chair, I shouldn't be waiting for somebody to come along and do an evaluation. I need to be coaching and counselling relevant people on an ongoing basis. And indeed, I like to think, you know, the good Irish Australian that I am, we are never known for being backwards in our commentary. I like to think people know where I stand, and I welcome them in being frank and forceful with me.
Okay.